Hello again, Skwatter here with another one of his long belated reviews of the games he played once upon a time, all done especially for the viewers I unfortunately don't have. But hey, you know what? You gotta keep your chin up. Life is good. You gotta keep happy, right? That's what I always say. Whatever. So, right now I am going to tell you all, whoever's watching, my thoughts about the game Jade Empire, made by BioWare. I played it on the Xbox, as can be seen from my video walkthrough of it on my channel. Now, I actually have a lot to say about this game, to be honest. I really do, I'll be comparing it a lot to, well, what else? The two Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic games that were, well, the first one was made by BioWare. The second was, well, I guess, sort of in terms of legacy, made by BioWare, but, constructed and programmed by Obsidian, then published by LucasArts, as were these other two games here. But, yeah, I'm going to compare them. I'm going to compare Jade Empire to Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic a lot, because I feel that it's more than fair, honestly. They're made by the same company, and they use the same engine. If I am not mistaken, I think it is the Odyssey engine, if I'm not mistaken. Let's have a look at that. Odyssey. Hmm. Yes. Yes, it is. Okay. So it's the Odyssey engine. Now, I had never played Jade Empire at any time before in my life until I made these videos that you see on YouTube, and they were uploaded on or around the time that I was playing them. So these weren't way back in the day, but no, the thing is, I like this game, Jade Empire. I think it's got, for the most part, a good story. Um, had some nice twists and turns near the end, especially with, your character's ancestry and who the main bad guy is and everything. Um, maybe some people saw that coming. I didn't, again, I had never played the game. And I pretty much wasn't prepared to expect anything like that by the game. So, where to start? So, the game is essentially Knights of the Old Republic set in ancient China. Uh, but it is a game made by North American developers for a North American audience. So I guess the transitioning and the localizing of the scenery and the environment and the locales and the culture and everything, I guess for the most part it holds together. I didn't really have a whole lot of complaints about that. I mean, they had this sort of old language that people would babble on in. It's of course highly relatable to what I think might be Huttese or something in Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic. You frequently hear several random do-nothing characters speak it in the two Knights of the Old Republic games, especially Twi'lek characters, or Twi'lek or whatever it is. I've heard numerous different voice actors spell it different ways, but so yeah, through playing Knights of the Old Republic, you'll definitely get a feel of that game in Jade Empire. Um, it's sort of the same layout. You control your character the same way. You speak the same way. The dialogue trees are the same. Uh, well, you can tell. Okay, it's made using the same engine, right? So, I mean, other than that, it's pretty much a carbon copy, right? Um, so again, the voice acting is, I would say, very, very good. as it usually is with BioWare games. They're very high quality. They employ actors and actresses that look and sound their parts in comparison to their digitally rendered sprites. So that's always nice. No true problems with that. Uh, on that subject, as a side note, I'm thinking, is the guy who... Hang on a second, I'm gonna need to look this shit up again. I haven't played this game, since I uploaded these videos, and so yeah, as I said, this is just a side note, right? So, Kang the Mad by Paul Eiding or Eating. Um, I'm curious. I'm just looking him up on Wikipedia right now. Okay? He's in StarCraft. The narrator in Diablo. Okay. Because I was going to say film, video games, Diablo series. Pepin, yes. I was going to say definitely Pepin the healer in the original Diablo. Uh, he also did the warrior. Interesting. Those are two very different voices. Talented guy. But yeah, no, that's one of the things that stood out most for me in terms of the voice acting. I said, that's got to be Pippin. That's got to be from Diablo in some way, shape, or form, and it was. So no real issue. But so again, the graphics are pretty good. I mean, it's a game from 2005, and it's on the Xbox, which was handful of years old at that point, maybe a year or two away from its eventual demise and replacement. Again, no real problems there. I'll get into it more though later on. So I guess I should just really hop right into this sort of thing. I'm going to be watching some of my videos through, of course, at heightened, faster speed. Sorry, just so I don't take up all the time in the world, right? But so the cutscenes, I would say they're pretty good. They've got fluid animation for the most part. They're all, I believe, done using the game engine as well. Uh, so again, I guess what I could really say is this game is kind of average to me, like I really have no real strong feelings about this game. I mean, everything that's good is just, well, as I've said, okay, and everything that is just, bad is bad, and I don't know, there's not a whole lot to this game, it was kind of bland, honestly. I'll get right into it here. So it was really bland. I decided to play it on the Xbox. I had recently gone out and purchased the special edition, which adds a couple more features, including another playable character, which consequently I didn't use, but whatever. I liked Tiger Shen. He was a pretty cool guy. So, and again, I'm I would in a game like this, I'd kind of like to be more of a juggernaut, so uh, and still though I tried to kind of up his stats uh, evenly, right? Um, but I gotta tell you, so this game here, I'll speak about it at a glance because again, like I have a lot to say about this game, but I don't know where to start. So um, I'll speak about the game itself. So the game is so much like Knights of the Old Republic, but it's also inferior to Knights of the Old Republic. And I'll say it like this because when you're playing the game, I mean, this game was advertising real-time combat, which it really isn't. I mean, it's honestly not real-time combat. It's the exact same sort of turn-based combat that you would see in Knights of the Old Republic, except it's got a whole lot more flamboyant, flourishing moves that you can kind of jump around with and dodge and everything. But again, It's very poorly implemented, I would say. Again, it's the same system, right? Like you still have turns. You only have so many attacks per turn, and your character, the guy you're fighting against, always gets his or her turn as well, right? So, I mean, if you want a real-time fighting engine, then you'd look to, well, Street Fighter, right? That's an actual real-time fighting engine, right? Looking at these, uh, looking at the fights in this game, I mean, again, you can run around, you can kind of do backflips and stuff and everything, but whenever you attack, it's always a single button that you press, and you waste a turn while you do it, right? So there's always a cooldown period which you can be attacked. So, and I got to tell you, this is jumping ahead a little bit. In terms of combat, as you can see in my videos, if you ever watch them, um, I spanned the living shit out of Mirabelle. Mirabelle is the gun that you win or have the choice of getting as a reward for beating what's his name again? Ponce von Ponce von Fondelbottom. Let's have a look. See. Uh, I don't want to waste too much time here. Jade Empire. Sir Roderick Ponce von Fontelbottom. There you are. Uh, Voiced by John Cleese, which I pretty much recognized right off the bat there again. Uh, I didn't watch any videos about this previously. I was only reading a worded walkthrough a text walkthrough on GameFAQs, so it was all a new experience to me. I tried to make it that way for me just so I wouldn't go into it with any preconceived notions or biases. But so yeah, I positively loved Mirabelle. It was the funnest thing in the game, especially when it was fully leveled up, just blasting people away, honestly. Um, and I used it to great extent, especially on boss battles and everything, where I eventually took out the hardest bosses in only a few shots, right? So, but this also cross-references with what I said before. This game is inferior to Knights of the Old Republic in almost every way, and one of those ways is variation. And I'll start with the combat system. Everything is based on these, magical, whimsical martial arts moves and everything. I mean, you can only have like a sword or a staff throughout the game, the entire game. I think I always got the sword, but you can only have a couple weapons, a handful of weapons in the entire game for your character, and they're usually always the same kind of weapon, right? And I mean, the thing with Mirabelle is that it is the only ranged weapon in the entire game. I mean, you couldn't even put any shurikens in there, or I don't know, a bow and arrow or something. I mean, honestly, right? I mean, for a role-playing game, it's it's not very expansive, honestly. They didn't really work too hard at the combat system or the equipment system, right? I mean, I cannot remember ever having any sort of armor or like changing your character's appearance in any way, shape, or form. I mean, it was so simplistic, it was so streamlined, so slimmed down and everything, right? So, and that's the problem. I call it KOTOR Light. I call it KOTOR Light, Knights of the Old Republic Light, because that's what it is, honestly. I would say this game would have gotten a higher score from me if it had been made a couple years before the first Knights of the Old Republic, not a couple years after the first Knights of the Old Republic. I mean, they had a game engine, they had everything that worked perfectly, they could have perfectly transitioned it into this game, but they just decided to, they stripped it down. It's bare bones, it's completely bare bones, right? I mean, there's limited to no character customization. There are almost no variation in weapons or armor or anything like that. Plus, you can only have one other non-playable character with you at any one time. I mean, usually you'd have two of them, so you'd be a party of three in Knights of the Old Republic, and same with the second game. But in this game, you can only have one other person, and you cannot control them. Like, you can't even walk around as them, right? So, I throughout my time playing, I just looked at it and I thought, like, is this it? Like, is this the game, right? I mean, like, this is a couple years after Knights of the Old Republic, and my God, like, everything just seems, well, worse. It really does. I mean, he, the combat system, fuck, like, all you're doing is just spamming the attack button. Like, I use 1,000 cuts all the time. All the time. That was pretty much the only move that I ever used there. And you know what, like, I don't know, it was so disappointing. This game was a real disappointing. It was so disappointing, honestly. You know, of course, as I said, you know, the characters that you meet are nice, colorful, you know, definitely colorful. Uh, Not all good things to say about them. Uh, I would say two of the characters definitely. Well, one of them could have been done better, could have been fleshed out better, more useful, and the other one could have been completely ignored or entirely omitted from the game. And those two characters are the first one being the guy who could have been done better, Kang the Mad, right? Is if that's his name there, or Krang or whatever it is. I'm gonna have to go back and look all this shit up again. But so yes, Kang the Mad. He's this inventor dude, you know, big goggles and everything, giant hat. Uh, you know, he's an entertaining character to listen to, but I mean, he just kind of hangs back and dicks around and doesn't really do a whole lot of anything, honestly. I mean, he's literally like the human anthropomorphization of the ebon hawk. Like, you talk to him to go different places, right? Because he flies you on like the magnificent dragonfly or whatever it's called. I mean, again, everything is just a direct fucking port from from Knights of the Old Republic, right? I mean, to me, it didn't really look like they put a lot of effort into this game, right? So, Kang the Mad, he doesn't really do anything. He takes you to some guy's Lord Lau's furnace, and which I got to tell you, I think was bugged in the game that I played, because I wasn't able to complete the quest. I thought I had done everything right, but I guess not, and I just found myself unable to do anything, and then I couldn't get back in there. And then, of course, he would activate these weird little shoot 'em up sequences, which, you know, again, not a fan of action games, so was not subsequently a fan of that. I died very frequently, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to give up on the game before I beat this, so fuck it. So, Kang, uh, honestly, like, I don't even, again, I guess he's fun to talk to, sort of thing, but again, like, these two characters that I'm speaking of, and I'll tell you the next one soon, why don't they fight with you? Like, why can't you have them with you? Like, you would think that maybe having Kang with you, like, he could, like, throw, like, black magic potion grenades at people you're fighting, you know, or maybe he'll brew you some, you know, herbal steroids or something to, like, heal your health or whatever. But instead you have to pray at these shrines and everything. That was fucking annoying, hell. And, you know, your health or your magic or your chi or whatever they call it, it wouldn't slowly replenish. You had to go and pray at these shrines, so it was just constant. It's busy work. You're running back and forth and back and forth. You know, uh, it it just padded out the game, honestly. So, I mean, Kang the Mad could have been done way better. He could have been an actual playable character, and which I would have thought was great. But, you know, it's not how it happened. But the next guy I'm talking about is Henpecked Who. He's a bun master. A bun master. So the fuck what? a bun master. Just call him a fucking baker or whatever. Jesus Christ. He formerly used the drunken master style of fighting. He was completely, like, entirely just a he was the he was the comedic relief. He was the comic relief guy. And he was a goofy bastard, and he would always fight with his wife. Yes, dear. Yes, dear. Yes, dear. Whatever. You know, and again, like, he didn't really do much of fucking anything. Like, I gotta tell you, whoever used drunken master fighting, like, it was fucking terrible, right? I mean, to me, it was just a hindrance, right? Like, your guy would flop around wildly and everything. Like, I don't know. He is the character that, as I said, could have just been either omitted or relegated to just a side character, right? I mean, maybe you frequently see him in the different towns you visit, and maybe we could have seen his wife. Maybe we have seen his wife. I don't know, right? I don't remember. But again, it's like he could have just been a random guy that you see frequently throughout the game, and done his comic relief thing there, right? But again, as far as I'm concerned, this henpecked Who character is just he's a waste of data, right? That they could have, you know, made a much better character. So, of course, Dawnstar, pretty much, you're, or, of course, I played it as a man. I was going to say your love interest. Well, if you're a man, then I can only guess that, uh, that maybe, is it Sagacious Zoo? I don't know. The guy that you start with, uh, your little friend guy. I'm kind of skipping through my videos here. Again, I do not remember a whole lot of this game because, it didn't usually make an impact on me, as you can quickly tell. Um, I'm skipping through my first video here. So, before I waste any more of your time, I'll get back to it. I'm going to assume that Sagacious Zoo is the guy I'm talking about. So he's your first sort of playable character after Dawnstar, if that makes any sense. So, I guess I could have said that you could have bumped uglies with somebody else. Silk Fox, I guess. Yeah, that's would sort of be your quote unquote dark side, or I guess closed fist version. See, again, everything is a crossover from fucking Knights of the Old Republic. It's the way of the open palm or the closed fist. It's the light side, dark side, and you would of course have a transitioned uh, meter for that sort of thing, whether you did good deeds or bad deeds and everything like that. And again, not a whole lot would change in the environment or the story. Depending on what you did, so that was another disappointment. Um, so, so this Sagacious Zoo character, um, you find him, and you know what? BioWare games always have this. They really always do. It's like a staple of their franchise. I call it the Karth guy. Of course, being named after Karth Onasi from Knights of the Old Republic. I call him your Karth guy because you meet him early on in the game, and he's sort of, the goody two-shoes character that you're sort of, scrappy little dog who kind of follows you around and says, hey, are you gonna, like, oh, we gotta do good things, to save the world and everything, right? And he just turns out to be more annoying than anything else. I call him the Karth guy, and I played what little I played of Mass Effect. You get a Karth guy as well. In fact, I think he's even voiced by the same actor. Um, so yeah, again, it's just literally the same game. It's just Knights of the Old Republic in a different environment, but with so many stripped down features, right? As I said, like no customization for armor or weapons or equipment. You can get like these I don't even remember. Like, I guess I just didn't even use them. I thought maybe you could get like charms or something that you could equip or something that would, I don't know, do this, that, or the other thing. But again, it was so stripped down, and I mean, you would only have a sword or a staff, or again Mirabelle, right? Because if you didn't get Mirabelle, he just trained another one of your skills or something, right? I said, fuck that shit. I want some variation. Jesus Christ, like I want to do something else other than 1,000 cuts, right? So that's why I got fucking Mirabelle. So, and I mean, it's like the hallway, right? I mean, you're exploring these areas, and while they're detailed and everything, it's the hallway, right? Like all you're doing is just walking around in a big open room or in a hallway. I mean, really, there's not a whole lot to do in the game, honestly. It's so underwhelming. The game itself is so underwhelming. Uh, and again, all I have to do is sigh thinking about this game because it could have been so much more than what it was, which was, as I've said so many times before, it's a stripped down Knights of the Old Republic, and it's really not very good, you know? I mean, leveling up, it's like body, health, spirit, chi, I mean, mind, focus, right? I mean, you have really realistically three different things, right? And I mean, you have all of these different moves and everything, but you're never going to level up every single one of the moves that you ever learn or get in entirety, right? You're going to focus on what works. So, I mean, it's wasted time there anyways. It's not necessary. Pitiful student. It's like crushing ants. Yes, I'm, the obligatory, fully evil guy that just needs to get his ass kicked. Gao the Greater and Gao the Lesser. Yeah, what a bunch of useless characters. They're not the main adversary. I don't know. They're a means to the end. Uh, a whole lot of the characters in this game are simply a means to the end. Um, Means to an end, I guess. And as I said, of course, your teacher, whatever his name is, Master Lu, if that's his name, uh, he turns out to be the main bad guy of the game. Master Lee, sorry, Master Lee. Uh, he turns out to be the main bad guy of the game. Spoiler alert, right? Whatever. You wouldn't care anyways. It's not very good of a game. Uh, and, you know, it never really, I don't know, it just never really jived with me. Like, I mean, he says, oh, I'm the master strategist and everything, right? I mean, it's really, they say he's the main bad guy, but really only because the game tells you, right? I mean, he had no more motivation to, enslave one of his brothers as like that weird samurai dude with the mask on it. Really, I'm not too concerned with a lot of the facts in this game. It didn't entertain me a whole lot, honestly. The game is average. It's balls. I don't really like it. I mean, some of the locales are nice to look at and everything, but this is out of left field, honestly. A game like this for them, it's way out of left field. And I mean, they haven't gone back to anything like it at all before. I mean, I guess BioWare, was it BioWare who made Baldur's Gate? Could have been. I don't know. Let's have a look see. Hmm. Yeah, it was. So, but then again, those were entirely different games. But so yeah, Jade Empire. It could have been better. It really could have. It lacked a lot of the things that I liked about Knights of the Old Republic, and it really didn't add a whole lot of anything very entertaining to it, right? Yeah, it's like I gotta tell you, I like I guess I thought that the game was boring because there was no variation in the characters that you see, right? I mean, I know it's realistic. I mean, it is realistic. I mean, it's ancient China. You wouldn't see anything other than the people who live there, right? Uh, and I guess, seeing a guy, even though he was kind of a shithead, Pons von Fontelbottom, I mean, just seeing a different kind of character model was just a breath of fresh air, right? Because everybody just, well, whatever, I'm not going to go into that. Variety is the spice of life. That's what I say. I'll leave it at that. Uh, yeah. Did this game have maybe it did have a day and night cycle? I don't know, but I don't think it ever really played into anything. Uh, and I don't know, there were just so many bullshit make work quests and everything. And, I mean, your map is always populated by all these different fucking pointers and uh, location markers and everything. And I don't know, you talk to a handful of people, and all of a sudden you find yourself with like 8 or 9 or 10 different quests, and you don't even know where to go at that point. That was honestly my problem, especially with the Elder Scrolls series. But maybe we'll get into that in a later review. So again, all this is just my opinion. You don't need to agree with it, and you can tell me to fuck off if you want. I really don't care. Hell, as long as you give me views. I mean, these videos are something that cannot necessarily be copyright infringed upon, so if you watch them, I could monetize them. Probably not, though. Most definitely not. So, yeah, and I mean, again, it's got some of the problems that it's got some of the problems that Knights of the Old Republic still has. Like, I mean, you would do shitty things, and I mean, your characters would just basically stand by and do fucking nothing, right? Especially your Karth guy, right? Like, I don't know. I want to leave a lot of the Knights of the Old Republic references for the review that I'll do on Knights of the Old Republic. But yeah, again, I just don't know about this game. All I can do is just shake my head and think, like, you could have streamlined this and not cut anything out that I've spoken of, right? Like, you could have gotten better armor, you know. I mean, that's what a role playing game is, right? I mean, this sort of reminds me more of like God of War kind of thing, right? Because I mean, like, I don't even know. This douchebag, I don't even know what his name is. I'm kind of watching through the videos right now, and yeah, it's essentially the same damn game, but worse. So it was entirely underwhelming, and as I've said, a lot of the environments are very vibrant and everything, and this guy with the kind of light blue skin and the red stripe across his face kind of reminds me, well, of the God of War guy. But whatever. I don't know who made those game series. I won't waste the time looking it up, though. Uh, yeah, I mean, holy fucking shit. I mean, I'm just watching through my video 5 at like 15 minutes in, and Kang is there. You're like breaking him out of this little hilltop fortress, owned by Gao the Greater, I can only think. And the guy actually throws a fucking grenade, right? I mean, why couldn't you have him as a partner and have him do that? Or better yet, why couldn't you have two partners with you, right? I don't know. Everything is just worse, right? And fuck, man. It's the same thing with Knights of the Old Republic. There is so much talking in this game. Holy shit, there's a lot of talking. There's so many dialogue trees. There's so much fucking talking. Like, honestly, some of these fucking videos I have are over a couple hours long. Like 2 to 3 hours long. And a lot of the times, it's just walking around talking to people. It's just yappity yap, yap, yappity yap, yap, yappity yap, yap, motherfucking yap. I mean, that seems to be the vast majority of the gameplay in these games, at least these Odyssey games, by BioWare. Just talking. talking and talking and talking. Like, my back when I was younger, my dad would see me play this game, and he'd say, "Fuck, like, do something. Like, why doesn't anybody get up and do something? Like, they're just yappity yap yap yappity yap yap talking, right?" I mean, again, it's like I like listening to it and everything. Of course, it eats up time on the VHS, so I have something to upload. And again, I like learning about the game world, as even though I practically fucking forgot it all ever since I uploaded it almost a year and a half ago. Um, but again, like, yeah, it's a massive overabundance and of reading like these different volumes on bestiary and like all these all, historical characters of antiquity. I mean, they're neat to read about, I guess, but I mean, they have no real bearing in the game whatsoever, you know? So, I don't know, yeah, it's like a lot of the game time is just spent, just sitting in one location talking or reading, right? Um, oh yeah, you could use chi or whatever, something to heal yourself, but then again, you'd have to pray to get that back, right? So, it's just running back and forth over and over and over again. I mean, these were kinks that not only should have been worked out, but shouldn't have existed in the first place, right? As I said, I would be far more gentle on this game if it had come out before the Knights of the Old Republic series, but it didn't. It came out after. They had everything under their noses, and they seemed to drop the ball on several occasions. Um, yeah, so again, I'm watching these fights and everything. I'm fighting Galagrator right now. It's still it's still the same sort of combat engine. It's still turn-based. It is not real-time fighting as is advertised on the box. It is not real-time fighting. It is still turn by turn. Everything is still a dice roll. I mean, I use 1,000 cuts, right? In a game with a real live. Uh, I've forgotten the term. I've forgotten the term now. Fighting engine. I said Street Fighter. Real time, that's it. If I was using a move like Thousand Cuts in a real time fighting engine, I would strike the opponent as often as I had swung my fists, and I would do almost constant damage whenever my blows connected. However, again, a Thousand Cuts, as well as any other move, is simply a move that you use on your turn. It's a dice roll, and you only do however much damage the game allows you compared to a difficulty roll, right? I mean, it's still the Dungeons and Dragons 3rd edition rule set, right? There's no difference. Lotus Assassins. Yeah, they're pretty much, I don't know, the dark Jedi of this game. God, I was looking at, I had such high hopes for this game. I was looking at, holy shit, look at all the different portraits you could have of your playable characters and everything, right? But, a handful of them just didn't really do a whole lot at all. And of course, Kang, who was severely unimaginative, even though I kind of liked him, but again, he was just simply a means to an end. He was a human anthropomorphization of the Ebon Hawk, and, yeah, not a fan of the scrolling shoot 'em up games. Uh, yeah, no. This game is very, very average, and um I don't really know what else to say other than that. Yeah, that's pretty much Jade Empire in a nutshell there. Uh, I'm not gonna go a whole lot into the plot or anything like that. Just the things that kind of stood out to me. Uh, Again, of course, I already said that Master Lee is the main bad guy, right? But and you die, partway through the game. Master Lee kills you, believe it or not, with just a couple well-placed blows to the chest, right? Because he's mystically powerful that way, or some shit like that. I don't know, Deus Ex Machina or something. Uh, Even though near the end of the game, I just whipped out my gun and shot him to death, right? So, yeah, I don't know. Masterly, I guess. Oh, and then there were these weird animal characters and everything. Furries, straight from the ninth circle of hell. And the giant elephant character. Yeah, again, pretty much. And then there's this weird ghost lady. Again, you know, I guess I wish I could have done this review, a year and a half ago when all this was fresh in my mind. But I mean, as I've said, you can tell what I thought of this game because so little of it is stuck in my mind. Uh, you know, the little Hob rip-off creatures, like these humans who ate people and then turned into these little white guys with little white goblin dwarves or whatever they're called. Uh, that was actually I thought that was pretty interesting, but again, I don't know, I tired of it really quickly. Bloggerty blurgety blurg. Yeah, again, just so much talking. Like, I'm just skipping through the video like maybe 5 or 6 minutes at a time, and I gotta tell you, like 80% of what shows up is a dialogue tree. It's just talking. It's just talking and talking and talking. That's where the gameplay. That's where the gameplay hours comes from. It's all just talking, right? I mean, again, as I said, I like cinematic quality games, but they just drone on and on and on and on and on. And of course, yeah, I don't know, like this Dawn Star lady. I mean, of course, you have to fucking lead her around through these dialogue trees to make her like you, and if you're overly supportive, she'll think that you're just being an asshole, and if you're an asshole, then you're an asshole, right? So, I mean, you kind of have to walk on eggshells around her, which is kind of fucking annoying. I think it's a few times I might have reloaded my save and then re-recorded over times where I ended up pissing off characters that I felt like I cared about. So, yeah, I don't know. Again, I'll have more to say about that in the Knights of the Old Republic reviews, especially the second one. Uh, but yeah, just I mean, there's so little variation to the locations in this game, right? I mean, like in the Knights of the Old Republic games, you would go to several different planets, each with their own distinctly unique locations, right? However, in this game, like I mean, I think like you have your own village, and then you go to this big city, and then I don't know, you go to like a haunted place that had drowned people because like they opened the floodgates or something on some river. Uh, I mean, it has like honestly like an eighth of the explorable locations. Honestly, I mean the entire game can be explorable on a single section of the map. So uh, again, it's like yeah, the game was very very short, right? It was so short, even compared to the many hours of just talking and talking and talking, right? Uh, yeah, there was just nowhere to go, right? I mean, it's like I don't know, by the time you hit like the third or fourth location, you're pretty much at the end of the game itself, right? And then of course, you have, Bendak Starkiller's Taurus Arena when you fight all these guys in, well, the arena in the big city. I don't care about the name, honestly. And then you have your little, what is it, girl on two fingers, who is the guy? Uh, Ice, Marl. He's at it yet again. I don't know. I'm talking about the stupid old guy who kept on losing the fights in the Taros Duel Arena. His name escapes me at the moment. But of course, there's the exact same sort of guy in this arena here, except he's all friendly and everything. He's like, even though I keep getting my ass kicked, baby, 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 baby. I'm just like, oh Jesus, fuck, spare me. Just honestly, spare me. I don't know. His name escapes me. I'm not gonna waste any more time on it. And then this weird fucking guy who contravocate. Yeah, yeah, I don't know. This, are you ready to get started? A fight announcer kind of guy who mispronounces all these different words and everything. a little entertaining at first, but got really old as the game dragged on. Again, you'd always have to come back here to do different shit and everything. I don't fucking know. Yeah, Silk Fox, the dark-sided love character, I guess you could say. It was pretty funny telling her to fuck off after I decided to go with Dawnstar. I don't feel the need to play the game over again as a dark side character. I think that would be a waste of time. Not a whole lot would be different anyways. Uh, you gotta love the little orchestraic melody that plays whenever Dawnstar has something meaningful and profound, thought-provoking to say. Uh, I don't know. Stereotypical. Yeah, that smiling mountain guy looks like Buddha. Oh, look, it's Ponce von Fondelbottom. And I find it really funny how he just pulls out his gun and fucking turns a human being into a pile of gore after he blows his head off with his gun, and people just stand there doing fucking nothing, even though, however, it's a musket, he has to reload it every shot. You could easily overpower him with like two guys, honestly, But what the fuck ever, we have to have the main character come around and do it. I guess I liked it because again, I got a fucking gun, which is, holy shit, a different weapon, It's like, fuck, it's boring as shit, It's like, give me some variation, right? You had all this before. You dropped the damn ball, right? And again, you have so many different characters that you can choose from, but you can only be with one at a time. What the fuck is that? Why have, 12 different character spots, or however many you do have, when you can only have one at a time? That's stupid. That's a waste. Like, the game isn't big enough or long enough to flesh out all these different character stories. And believe me, it's not going to be super different with every playthrough, so there's no point in going through, oh, and these fucking ghosts, like, how you could only kill them with, with I don't know, karate magic, 1,000 cuts pretty much. I mean, I don't even think you could use your sword, honestly. So I mean, like, what the fuck was the point of even having a sword, right? I mean, for a large part of the game, you're fighting ghosts, right, or other characters that are immune to these physical attacks. So, thinking like, what the fuck? There's a disconnect here. I mean, you're making something inherently useless that should, well, be your mainstay weapon. And they always appear. They'd always spawn. What a waste of time, honestly. I mean, the quests would just come and go, right? Like, I mean, all of a sudden you get a bunch of quests, you complete them, I think, and then, that's it? They're over now? Yeah, that one guard lady or whatever it was, it's like, oh, we lured a local villager and drowned him in the river. You're a bad person. And I don't think that having you die, or I don't know, like she says, kill me after I kill this guard captain who drowned this kid, and I don't know, lame. Uh, oh yeah, and then there's this, Wildflower, this weird little girl that can transform into a massive monster, which, I mean, the monster is kind of advertised on the box, but the way it's portrayed kind of makes it look more like a little imp-like character, sort of like Will-o'-the-Wisp, and not a gigantic demon character that's like 12 feet tall. So, I don't know, didn't know what to expect with that sort of thing. Never really used the character anyways, as you can see from the videos. Looks like I recorded some VCR displays in this video. 9:02 p.m., I guess. Well, that's when I was playing it. You can see how authentic it is. Oh, wow. That goes for a substantial portion of the video. Oh well. You live and you learn. It's VHS, buddy. That's why I do it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Yeah, no, I gotta tell you, these fucking missions, like at the furnace and with the shoot 'em ups. I mean, they took up so much time, and I really didn't get a whole lot out of them. You know, I had no idea what I was doing, and or how we got there. You know, I don't know. The game is stupid, honestly. This comes to me. Uh, so again, nobody's really interested in my videos, but I'll tell you this anyways. It's sort of my gripes about, me uploading these videos for Jade Empire. And I'll tell you, some of my videos of multiple different games have been flagged for copyright infringement or copyright notices. Nothing serious at all, but sometimes they would say, "Oh, you had copyrighted content, so you can't monetize," or "You had copyrighted content, so we are going to monetize it." Yeah. Hello, content creators. Hello, copyright owners. I hope you enjoy the -3 pennies that you're getting per year off of my videos with no fucking views. I'm so happy for you. But yeah, no. Video number 16. This was a thorn in my side throughout the entire playthrough. Now, where the fuck is it? I had uploaded this video like maybe 5 times or something, and it kept on getting muted. Its audio muted, um, because of, they say, "Oh, you have copyrighted music," right? So I looked at the infringement claim, and it said something from Lupus Lounge claims that you have used copyrighted music that they own, something called like Oob Abgrund or something, some kind of weird Germanic name or some I don't know, some foreign European language. Uh, I don't know. I was too pissed off to research it, but I did kind of look it up, and this Oob Abgrund or whatever it's called, it's heavy metal. It sounds to me like death metal, right? It's hard rock, and I'm thinking, when the fuck did I ever have this shit in my videos, right? And I mean, I don't know when it happens, but I'm in this big temple here, running around looking for shit, and honestly, it's I'm not all I'm doing is just running around. Like, all you can hear is the pitter patter of my feet and wind blowing in the background. And you know what? It's only like maybe a minute and a half that they label this as being infringed upon. Like, this is the span of audio that says that we own copyright to. And I mean, it's nothing but ambient noises and my character running around and grunting when he jumps and everything. But so they claim it, and of course, you can't fucking do anything to stop them, right? Because, it's not a guilty until proven innocent. It's a guilty and not allowed to be proven innocent, right? So, I basically just I decided, okay, I'll just mute this tiny section of the clip, and hopefully that'll work. And believe it or fucking not, it did, right? Having absolute silence compared to ambient noises, I guess, is the breaking point between copyright infringing on non-existent death metal music. So that was a giant pain in the ass. So those are my gripes about that. But yes, here you go, the ever romantic kiss between you and your love, Black. Yeah, so this is pretty much my opinion of Jade Empire. A game that had no excuse to be so bare bones, so stripped down compared to other games in its game engine series, I will say. Huh. Gotta love when that fucking axe guy, I don't know, I don't care what his name is, slicing off everybody's heads and blood spews everywhere. Was this game rated mature or teen? Interesting. Uh, so, yeah. No. completely bare bones. Didn't have a whole lot to offer. I played it mainly for the story, which was okay. I mean, it got me through it. It was entertaining for the most part, considering all of these considerable drawbacks. I like these wild and wacky scenes where you have massive fucking airships going around and everything. I mean, do you guys want to make another Star Wars game? 'Cause it really looks like you do. Huh, looks like you could have had a third useless character in there. I don't know, maybe you would have gotten that on another playthrough. I don't fucking know. But, yeah, so, that, before, of course, this is less of a review and more rambling and everything. But, that's pretty much what I think of, Jade Empire. Underwhelming. Disappointment. Uh, KOTOR Light. That's pretty much all I'm going to say about it. So, I don't know. Looks like I've been speaking for around the same time I had in my last interview. Or, sorry, review. Uh, Singular person interview. Alright, well, if any one person or a few more ever listen to this video all the way through, which they most likely won't, I'm just doing it because I feel like it. Thanks for listening, and I'll go and review the other videos now. Thank you very much. Have yourselves a good one.